All right, we are live. Hey, you guys, how you guys doing out there today? My name is Jonathan Bailey, and I am here with the Pat Patterson.
Yeah, the
He's
Pat
a
Patterson.
beast.
Remember that. It's the, it's funny, and I'm interrupting you because I'm real famous for that. I showed up at the hotel in Orlando, Florida. I walked through the little circular window thing, the entrance. Just goes around and around if you don't step out like a hamster. So I step out, and there's a group of people in the lobby, and I said, "Look, it's Pat Patterson." And I went over there, and they wanted some pictures, and then they started saying, "No, it's the Pat Patterson." So that's where that got started. This little group that was in the lobby, the Pat Patterson, not just Pat Patterson. So just kind of funny.
Okay,
so go ahead.
The Pat Patterson. You guys.
Smart ass.
Well, I have to say that if you guys don't know anything about Pat Patterson, he is the beast on the online marketing niche. He is a family man. He is a father. He is a husband. He has talked in front of thousands of people on stage. And I mean, if he wants to talk about his income, that's his personal business. But I mean,
if I want to do what now? Talk about what?
Your income. That's your business.
I just like to say I make thousands of dollars a month.
Okay,
thousands. To say, I make 12,000 and 16,000. Now I just say, look, I make thousands of dollars a month, and I think that's the best way to put it. Because as a police officer, nobody ever asked me, "Hey, what are you making?" And I make 27,000 a year as a cop, but nobody ever asked me that. It was nobody's business. In this industry, it's funny because you've got to tell people what you're making to show them that, hey, if you work, this works. So I just usually say just thousands of dollars a month. And you said I was a father. I want to say for the record, there's never been a blood test. I got 4 boys, never been a blood test, not one. So I don't know if they're mine or not. So just wanted to throw that out there.
And he's a comedian.
Their mother said they were mine, but she's lied to me before. So who knows?
Hey, you must have raised them, for 20-some years. So we're going to claim them according to your IRS papers. That they're yours.
Yeah, on IRS, yeah, they're mine.
As you can tell, you guys, he is a motivation speaker as well, and he just stated that he is a cop. So here is.
I can't be a cop anymore.
Why?
Well, I was injured in the line of duty back. It's real bad injury. I got 2 broken ribs, a fractured left wrist, multiple injuries to the back of my neck, requiring I had like 3 ruptured discs, pins, and all that stuff. So the doctor, after the last surgery, he put a medical hold on my post-certification. And for those of you who don't know, see, I'm tripping over my tongue. Those of you who don't know, a post-certification, that's my certification as a police officer out of the state of Georgia. And in Georgia, you never lose your certification unless you commit a felony. Now, you still have to do in-service hours every year to keep your arrest powers, but you keep your certification. Just like I'm still a certified police officer in Georgia, but I have a medical hold on my post-certification, meaning I can't walk into a department and be mandated by that department to act under the color of law. So I have no arrest powers unless there's a felony in progress. If there's a felony happening in front of me, I have a duty to act. And at that moment, I have arrest powers. I can arrest somebody in any state in the United States, except for New York, if there's a felony in progress in front of me. So a lot of people don't know that.
Somebody yet?
No, hell no. Be like, run, Forrest, run! I'm not running after him.
You're like, I already make my money. I'm good. Run fast as you can.
No,
so how's your day?
I'm sorry?
So how's your day going so far?
Oh, man, hell, I always say as long as my name stays out of the obituaries, it's a beautiful, blessed day. So it's going great.
Amen to that.
No matter what happens, the damn house could burn down, the car could break down. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm above ground, it's a blessed day. I'll sleep in a freaking tent.
Speaking of something that's off or, a little different, what were some of the facts or off the wall facts that contributed to your success?
Well, basically off the wall is I'm freaking hard-headed. That's off the wall because, you know, here I am. You have to kind of picture it. I'm on 16-day restricted movement after my last surgery, meaning I have to lay in a bed on my back looking up at this trailer ceiling. And I was staying with my son at the time. He's living in this nasty ass trailer, you know, a 50, 60-year-old trailer. And they got those little rivets. It looks like little flowers on the ceiling. You know, these little round things that hold the ceiling up. And I'm counting those things. And I got so bored counting these stupid rivets. And I'm calling them a rivet. I'm sure the trailer industry calls it something else. But here I am. I'm counting these things. And I said, you know what? My sergeant's wife, I remember her talking at the Huddle House because I used to do off-duty security at the Huddle House from midnight till 5 in the morning on my weekends off, so I can make $20 an hour working security. And they would sit in there, and she was making like $15 every time she would fill out some insurance form and submit it to this company. I'm thinking, you know what? I think I could do that because at this moment, my options are this. I can't be a cop. I've been a police officer for 17 years. That's all I know how to do. So now I've got to go work a security job, guarding some stupid telephone pole in a parking lot somewhere. That's my option. And I thought, you know what? And I'm only going to make probably $10, $12 an hour. And I'm guessing all this because I didn't even apply. I mean, we gave security officers hell when I was a cop. You know, they're just rent-a-cops. They're wannabes. They're not good enough to be a police officer. They're just wannabes, which we were wrong. I mean, we shouldn't have gave that kind of shit to these rent-a-cops. But I didn't want to be one. Yeah. So I go online, and in the browser at the time, I didn't even know what Internet Explorer was. I seen this E, and I figured out, okay, that's what?
What year was this again?
2012. Well, or no, what I'm talking about now is 2013. It's October of 2013. October 17th of 2013. So I get my laptop, and my son comes down the hallway, and I ask him to get my laptop, and I put it on my stomach. Now I have to lay like this so I can't see. So we put a pillow underneath it to raise it up so I could look this way and see. So now it's like here, this big pillow's underneath it. So I search for internet forums, making money on the internet. And and the search engine at the time was Bing. I didn't know that, but I know now what it was. So the third or fourth one down said, you know, insurance, make money from home. And I'm like, okay, that's it. So I click on that link, and that takes me to this page where they want my name and my email. And I'm thinking, okay, and now I know it's a capture page. I didn't know that then. I'm thinking, you know what? They're going to email me the information. Okay, this is cool. So I put my name and my email in there. And that takes me to a video where David Wood and David Sharp are running around like superheroes in these superhero costumes for the launch of the Blog Beast. I don't know if you remember that far back, but they're launching the Blog Beast. I didn't know what blog meant. I had to Google that. Actually, Bing it. I binged.
Were you at all computer savvy or anything like that?
No, I knew how to check Outlook Express on my email because the police department I was with, we had to have an email. They assigned us an email address. So on our days off, if a BOLO came out, and BOLO means be on the lookout. So if there was a car stolen or they were looking for a suspect, I'd get a BOLO email. Of course, I'd have to check it, you know, a couple times a day. And that's the only reason I had an email. As far as surfing the internet, I'd never done that before, ever. I mean, it just wasn't, I didn't have time to do it. I mean, I was working 12-hour shifts, you know, on 3-day rotations. So here I am, I see this video and I'm like, oh my God, whatever they're doing, that's what I want to do. I gotta realize I'm recuperating from surgeries, and here's two superheroes in front of me, you know, running around in superhero costumes, and they're here to save me. You know, that's how I felt. And I didn't give a shit what they were doing. I'm going to do it. I joined Empower Network within that 30 minutes. I was part of Empower Network. Didn't even know what the hell I just joined.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm part of something, not knowing what to do. So over the next 3 months, I learned how to do YouTube. I put a really cool video together. And by this time now I'm up walking around, not real fast, but I'm up walking around after the injury and after the last surgery. So I learned how to do YouTube and learn how to do reviews on different MLM companies that are coming out next month or next week or next a couple days. And I'd throw those up on YouTube and get opt-ins. So I was making my goals about money, which is a bad mistake. And I'm going to tell everybody here, do not make your goals about money, ever. I don't care what anybody else tells you, do not do it. Bad mistake, because here's what happens. My goal was, because of what I've heard in all these videos, was $5,000 a month. Well, guess what? In November, I didn't make it. In December, I didn't make it. In January, I didn't make it. So here I am. I'm not making any of my goals because I only had one goal, $5,000 a month. So around the end of December, I started looking at my opt-ins. And I just got this crazy idea to say, hey, you know what? I wonder if I can get 5 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight without fail. 5 opt-ins a day off these videos for 14 days. I said, okay, that's my new goal. Screw the money. I'm going to get 5 opt-ins because I'd already figured out this is a numbers game. You know, the more people that opt in, the more conversions you're going to get.
That is true.
So 14 days straight, I got 5 opt-ins. And you want to talk about somebody that just won the lottery? I felt like I had just won the freaking lottery. I was excited. I just reached the first goal in my business. And I said, son of a bitch, if I can do 5 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight, I'm going to add 5. Now I want 10. I'm going for the gusto now. I want 10 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight. Well, I didn't make it. I got 6 days into it and only got 7 opt-ins. So I said, okay, this isn't golf. I'm not taking a mulligan. I said 10 opt-ins for 14 days straight. So I started back to day 1. All the way back to day 1, I'm getting 10 opt-ins a day. So I said, okay, I'm just going to do more videos. And then I'm going to learn how to do Craigslist on top of that. So now I'm going to do videos here and I'm going to do ads over here. That should get me my 10 opt-ins a day. And it happened. I went back to day 1. 14 days later, I had gotten 10 opt-ins a day for 14 days straight. Then I became a smartass. I'm going to do 15 for 14 days straight. So that's where I came up with my strategy to add 5 every 14 days. So, and in doing that, it is a good strategy because during that time, I'd only made $164 total in my business. So if I'd have made my goals about money, I'd have quit in January. And I'd have realized, look, I'm working 8, 10, 12-hour days, 6 days a week. I'd made $164. If my goal was still $5,000 a month, I'd have quit because I wasn't reaching the goals. I wasn't even close to it. I should have said $200 a month instead of $5,000 a month. So because I was new, most of those hours I just told you about was learning. How do I do YouTube? How do I do Craigslist? What the hell's Facebook? To me, Facebook was just a gossip column. Craigslist was a garage sale online.
So how long with YouTube did you start to feel comfortable before you switched over to Craigslist?
It was about 2 months. About the end of
How long are you doing YouTube for?
I felt really, really comfortable with YouTube. And then in
Okay.
January, I found out I had over 200 something videos on my channel, and my account got closed down. So now I lost 200 videos because some idiot out there, some dumbass, flagged my account and said, hey, I don't like this video. And I don't think YouTube should be able to, let the general public police their YouTube, but they do. So I lost my videos. So then if that's not discouraging enough, you lost 200 videos, but there went my opt-ins.
Yeah.
So but what I had done, and I don't know why I did it, I kept a list of each title of each video. So I had this long 200 list. I said, screw that shit. I'm going to reload them. I'm going to open another account and reload them. So that's what I did. 2 months later, that one got closed down. So then I got smart and I just started buying accounts from a guy that I know on Fiverr. So I'll pay $10 for 20 accounts and it doesn't matter if they get closed down. I'll just use another account and load those same videos right back to it. So
you found a way around it.
Huh?
So you found a way around it.
Found a workaround. But most people, and it pisses me off when people do it. I had a guy call me last week. Well, I'm going to have to quit. Really. And I'd spent a lot of time with this freaking guy. This guy pisses me off because I don't usually spend a whole bunch of time with somebody on the phone, but I'd probably spent a couple of times. I went on the computer and got into his computer and showed him how to do stuff. He's out of Louisiana. Really, I thought he was really a cool guy, but now he's going to quit. And his reason for quitting is his lights got turned off. And I said, man, I don't give a shit if your lights got turned off. Take your damn laptop down to Starbucks and use their internet. This is your business, man. If this was your restaurant, or you say, oh, my lights got turned off, we're out of business. No, you're not going to do that. You idiot.
So you hustle until, you find a way around that. You got to push through those hard times, because if not, then any problems that do come in or barriers do come in, you're just going to stop it and then go off, and then you're going to have that shoulda, coulda, woulda, mentality. And that's never good whatsoever. So
I would have let my YouTube accounts getting closed down stop me. I'd have been done at the end of December. I would have stopped December of 2013. But I knew
this. So if you did stop, what would you be doing now?
I'm sorry?
What would you think you'd be doing now?
Oh, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be working for some security company, probably as a supervisor, because I had so many years of experience in law enforcement, probably making a whopping $14 an hour somewhere.
Wow.
Before taxes. But probably working, 10, 12-hour shifts and, on a 4 or 5 day rotation, and miserable as hell. And everybody looking at me like I'm some rent-a-cop with a white uniform. That's what I'd be doing.
Well, thank goodness that you were quotation stubborn enough to, really make.
But I knew it could work. And see, most people, they look at Empower Network or whatever business they want to join, and they hear these freaking videos out there on binary options or whatever, and they hear this, you can make $1,000 a day. And these idiots actually believe, and I call them idiots because they are, they think they click a button and their bank account's going to grow. If that's not a freaking idiot, I don't know what is. You got to put the time and effort that it takes to make this work. And if you're not willing to do that, don't waste your time. Keep your day job, period. Don't even waste your time with this, because it's not for you.
I definitely agree with that.
I apologize, but I'm always real blunt. I'm blunt to my team. If they're not going to do what it takes to make it work, get the hell off my team and go do something else. I don't need them on my team. So, and everybody should feel the same way. And I've got to say, every time I do my income, when I say I make over $12,000 a month, I've always got to say, well, now wait a minute, my results aren't typical. So go to empowernetwork.com/income for the income disclaimer. Why do I have to say that? Because most people are too freaking lazy to get off their ass and work their business. So my income is not typical because I work my business. If everybody would work their business, I'd be able to say, well, my income is under average. I mean, it's below average here. So, but you can make a lot more than I do because my income's below average. If everybody would just work their business like a business and not some freaking hobby. And that's what they do.
Speaking of that right there. So if someone is Brendan, kind of in your situation, never really did anything online, what would be some of the things that you would suggest for them to do before they really get online? Like books, videos, anybody that they should start following or anything like that?
If they read, that's great. I'm not a reader. I haven't read an inspirational book in my life. So to do that, if you like to read, great, go read whatever book you want to read. But mine was, I was just hard-headed. I was stubborn. And what I would suggest for anybody, if I'd have known back then what clicks are, buying clicks, that means buying traffic. I didn't know what that was. Never even heard of it until I was about 6 months into this. I thought, son of a bitch, I could have been buying these clicks, sending traffic to my site while I was trying to learn YouTube. And when I was trying to learn Craigslist. And then when I was trying to learn Facebook. I didn't even know that existed online. So now that I know, my advice to anybody, if you have the money, and remember, I said, if you have the money, do not ever use your rent money. Don't use your freaking electricity bill money to get into a business. Screw that. Don't do it. If it's your survival money, that's what it is. It's your personal survival money to pay your bills and live. Don't use that money to join any business. But if you have that extra money, and if you don't, get a part-time job and get the extra money. But if you have it, you want to buy clicks. Buy 500 clicks a month to start off with. So now you got 500 people going to your website while you're trying to learn a strategy. while you're trying to master YouTube, while you're trying to master Facebook. Don't just wait on you to get done mastering something. Go ahead and start sending traffic. Do solo ads. Either way, it still costs you money, but be very cautious when you start buying clicks and all. Now, I'm a traffic broker. I also sell traffic, and that's not what this is for. I'm just saying, don't go and spend $35 for a 200 click solo ad, because it's bullshit. It's garbage traffic. Your average is going to cost.
What would you say to buy the best traffic that you're referring to? Do you have a particular website that you go to, or you recommend for people?
I do. Now, my traffic is at traffic.pat-patterson.net. And that's tier 1 traffic. And tier 1 means it's coming from US, Canada, and the UK. That's what you want. You don't want to get this traffic. If you buy a solo ad for $35 and you think, oh my God, I'm fixing to send out this email, they're going to send it to their whole list. That's usually some bullshit out of Indonesia where there's 150 people in that room and they say, okay, the link today is this one. And it's your link that goes out and everybody just starts clicking on it and opting into your freaking page. It's garbage traffic. Just remember, if you're paying less than 75 cents a click, it's garbage. Stay away from it. Period. You get what you pay for. My traffic is 75 cents a click. Everybody else's traffic is 82, 85, $1.10 a click. Mm-hmm. So I didn't become a traffic broker to make money off this traffic. I became a traffic broker so my team that I was getting emails all the time from saying, hey, where can I buy good traffic from? Well, I was sending them to PowerClicks and NewGene and in other places that were 85, 87, 88, 92 cents a click. So I paid the money to become a traffic broker to buy a license from a company where I can sell my own traffic and I can sell it to my team at a very good price. I'm not making a lot of money off of it, a few bucks, but it's more of this is great traffic and it'll get you 30 to 50% opt-ins. But again, this isn't about my traffic. This is about if you want a strategy and you can afford it, buy traffic, learn a new strategy like YouTube. If you can't afford it, and that was me in the very, very beginning. If you can't afford it, then you want to master YouTube as quickly as possible. And back in Empower Network with those products, because you're sitting there saying, I know what you're asking. Okay, how do I learn how to master YouTube? You buy the products. Your university is what I call it, back in Empower Network.
Yep.
Now, if you're going to send your kids to college and you're going to go to college and all this stuff, it's going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. With this, you buy all the products in Empower Network, and those products, I'm calling them products, but they're actually educational products. It's your university to learn how to master YouTube and Craigslist and Facebook and Bing and YouTube PPC and Facebook PPC and solo ads and anything you can think of. Postcards, whatever you want to, however you want to market, it's back there in those university products inside Empower Network. So that's how you learn.
That is awesome right there. I mean, you definitely explained it. You hit everything right on the head. I mean, if you really want to do something, if you do have the money, put a little bit towards paid traffic. That might not be your main source, but then while you're learning, so that way your confidence will build, your self-esteem will build, and your opt-in rates, your email list, will all start building, which is all crucial in anything especially when you do a business. So you definitely hit it right on the head on that one.
And remember, this is your business. This is not some, oh, let me join and see how it goes. Are you freaking kidding me? Look in the mirror and tell yourself how it's going to go. And people will say, well, does this work? I don't know. Do you work? Because that's what it's about. If you work, this works. I'm living proof. Some dumbass ex-police officer out of the state of Georgia can do this. Anybody can make it work. That's the whole thing. So don't worry about if this works. What you're really asking is, am I going to get off my lazy ass off the couch every night from watching TV after I get home from work? Am I going to work my business? Because here's the thing. People tell me all the time, they make the mistake of telling me, I don't really have the time. I'm working full-time job and I got a family to take care of. Well, yeah, that's true, but that's bullshit. You don't have the time. Let me break this down. There's 24 hours in a day. You're going to work 8 of those at a full-time job. The average person across America sleeps 6 to 7 hours. So let's just say 7. So 8 hours working, 7 hours sleeping, that's 15 hours. Now let's say you spend 2 full quality hours with your family, and trust me, your kids will be sick of you after 2 straight hours, okay? But let's say you spend 2 solid hours with your family, nonstop, quality time, whatever you guys want to do, your kids will be ready to strangle you. So now we're up to 17 hours. So now you got 7 hours a day to work your business.
Mm-hmm.
You've worked your full-time job. You slept for 7 hours. You spent 2 quality hours with your family. You still got 7 hours. You work your business from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. Then you go to sleep and you get up. If your job doesn't require that, like you got to get up at 5 a.m., then you adjust. But you have 7 hours of wasted time per day that you could actually be sitting in front of your computer and working your business. So I don't even want to hear people say, I ain't got the time. That's bullshit. That's an excuse, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's just like automatically putting, like they're capping off their limits. They're just like, they're like living in the box here, and they're saying, oh, well, there's a ceiling, therefore I can't. You know, instead of, you know, having that box, just, you know, start thinking outside of the box of what you can do simply by removing the box and having all of this open space here. I mean, just like what you were saying, you know, after everybody's laid down, spend quality time, 7 hours. A lot of people nowadays, all they need is 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours before they wake up anyways.
Right.
So those extra couple hours do you a lot of good, especially when you're starting an online business.
Absolutely. And you have to forgive me. You know, I know I'm supposed to be this nice guy and try to convince you to join something. That's just not who I am. I'm just blunt to the point, and I know how this works. I know how my business works, and I've got several people on my team making thousands of dollars a month because they listen to me. I could sugarcoat this and say, oh, well, yeah, just work a couple hours. We don't want to tire you out now. And you may not want to work on the weekends because that's family time. Bullshit. You can do 2 hours a day with your family, 7 days a week. And I guarantee you after the first week, the kids will hide. All of them will be playing hide and go seek from you because they're sick to death of spending 2 hours a day with you. So, and I'm just going from my experience and the experience of several people on my team. Try spending 2 quality hours with your family every single day and see if even the wife will get tired of it or the husband will get tired of it. Hey, can we skip today? You know? So that'll give you 9 hours to spend on your business if you skip the 2 hours with your family. So, but here's the thing. If you skip those 2 hours with your family, like I did, I didn't spend a lot of quality time with my family when I was getting this started because this was more important to me. And you're sitting there saying, oh my God, what's more important than family? How about the future of my family? That's more important. So I knew I was building this for me and my family. Time freedom, forget about it. For the first 6 months to a year, time freedom is bullshit. It's a lie. But after that, after 6 months, depending on how hard you work those 6 months, 6 months to a year, I was working 6 days a week, 8, 10, 12, 14, 18-hour days sometimes because I'd get on a video and work with it. And before I know it, it's 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So it's, you're doing that now. Now what do I work? Okay, I haven't worked at all today. I'm working right now. I started at 8. I've been working for 35 minutes today. I usually work 2 to 3 days a week, maybe 2 or 3 hours each time. If I want to do a new video or I want to, because I'm so good at it now, because I've done it so many times, it's like repetition. So it's like anything you do. Once you start it, it's really hard to get the hang of it. But once you do, it's easy. So I can sit down and do a 30-minute video in about 35 minutes. I don't have to keep redoing it like I used to. So that's when your time freedom kicks in. And it's a beautiful thing when you can just, you know what? I didn't dread today. I wasn't dreading today last night when I was going to bed. I think I'm just going to go to the mall and I'm going to go buy Starbucks. And, you know, when I come home, I might shoot out an email to my whole list and then I'm done for the day. But I'm still making thousands of dollars a month. And I'm not bragging. I'm not being boastful. I'm just telling you what your potential is, because that is your potential. Because always remember, through this whole interview, that guy sitting there is a dumbass ex-cop out of Georgia, and he made it work. I have got a 2-year criminal law degree. I'm not some big college graduate. That's all I've got. That's my education. High school diploma, 2-year college, 2-year criminal law degree. That's it. nothing about computers, nothing about marketing. And I made it work because I was hard-headed. But don't get that wrong. So many times I picked up this laptop sitting to the right of me and shook it and just wanted to throw it out of a freaking window. I got so frustrated.
For sure.
Absolutely. But you have to want it. You have to want it more than you want the next breath that's going into your body. You got to just, I'm going to do it no matter what. And my motivation was, if I don't make this work, I'm wearing some white piece of shit uniform and everybody's going to call me a wannabe rent-a-cop. That's what they're going to call me. And I didn't want to do it. So I had to make this work. Come hell or high water, I was going to do it. Now, 6 months into it, I started making about $2 grand a month. 10 months into it, I had my first $5,000 month.
Wow.
But now let's go back to January. For 3 solid months, I'd only made a total of $164. If that won't make somebody quit, I don't know what will. Then on top of that, all my YouTube channel got shut down and I lost over 200 videos. But I worked around it. You've got to look in the mirror every morning and say, I can make this work no matter what. I am not going to quit. This is my business. This is my McDonald's. So, and don't think you're going to get in. Here's another bullshit idea that people have. Okay, I'm going to get in at the Kalatu Premium or the Inner Circle. Let's just say the Inner Circle. And I'm going to take my profits from Inner Circle and then I'm going to advance up to the Top Producer Formula, which is another university product. And then what I'll do is I'll take my commissions from that and move up another step. That's bullshit. And I'll tell you what. Let's say you own a McDonald's franchise. Saying what I just said is no different than you saying, okay, I own a McDonald's franchise, and now I'm going to start selling Cokes. That's it. I'm going to start off with Cokes. And I'm going to take my profits from those Cokes. And one day I'm going to move up to French fries. And then I'm going to take the profits from the French fries and the Coke. And one of these days, oh boy, I'm going to be selling hamburgers. Now, you see how stupid that sounds? That's no different than saying in your business, I'm going to go up slowly. No, you jump your ass all in as far as you can get and you work your business and make the commissions that you deserve and you've earned. So that's just my outlook on the whole thing. So I'll stop being the smart ass that I am and let you ask me whatever you want to.
No, I definitely agree with that. I mean, there's so many people like, okay, I'll just be honest with you. You know, when I first started this online thing, I wanted to get in at the very bottom, you know, so I can start building my profit and then start working my way up. But the more I got into it, the more I realized what I didn't know and what I actually needed to succeed. And that was, you know, all the way up to the very top of the line, whatever the, you know, the top end product was. I knew I needed that because that's where the most valuable information was. Absolutely. So it took me, I would say, 4 months or so to go all the way in my, you know, current opportunity. But the information I learned from it has taught me so much that I use it in my personal life. You know, I use it everywhere that I go. It's amazing what something like, you know, going all in can actually do for you, even on a personal level when you're not talking about business.
And see, I didn't have the money to go all in. And you said 4 months. It's funny because 4 months into it, I realized what I had. I realized that this wasn't, because back then we were getting 100% commission off the $25. So I was making a lot of $25 by 4 or 5 months. And I'm like, okay, if I got these products, all of them, not only would I have all the education that I need to help me learn all this stuff, but instead of making $25 for doing the exact same amount of work, I could make $5,000. So do I want to make $25 at this point doing the exact same thing, or do I want to make $5,000 for each person that went all in? So I went to my bank and took out a loan. I didn't have the money, but I had good credit. As a police officer, you know, you got to have good credit or they'll boot you from the department. You can't go around.
I did not know that.
It's all it's a personal thing. Each department, and each department's different, but my department, you better have good credit. You can't be screwing people out of what you owe them. And then be an honorable police officer out there enforcing the law.
Gotcha. So it all falls along the lines of the honorable police officer stigma. Gotcha.
So I had good credit. I went to the bank and I borrowed the money. and I went all in. 3 weeks later, I was able to walk back into that bank and pay that loan off in full. Of course, I had to pay $57 penalty because I only had the loan for 3 weeks. So they charged me $57 for all the paperwork and all that crap. But I paid the loan off, and I was all in because I got an all in. Actually, I got two. One went to my sponsor. The next one went to me. And all that's changed now. Now we're on the Uniline system, which is freaking awesome because now you get in today, everybody I can recruit tomorrow is under you now. That I recruit is under you, and you start making money off them. I mean, of course, you got to qualify at the levels, obviously. You can't just sit on your ass and look at your computer screen or think about it from the TV room. You actually got to do the work.
Well, luckily, you already did the work. The line kicked in. So now you just kind of sit back and just keep doing what you're doing and, you know, start raking in a lot more money and more people underneath you.
Absolutely. And, you know, I've been truly blessed because, you know, I speak in front of thousands of people at events. And I'm able to tell them my story. And I've had so many people, I mean, literally hundreds of people come up to me and tell me how inspiring my story was, how me telling them what I've told them, which is pretty much what I've said here tonight, except I didn't go into a lot of detail about what happened to me. But they've actually inspired them to go home and get to work. And a lot of people have emailed me or messaged me through Facebook and say, thank you so much. You have changed my life.
That's
so
cool.
Just listen. If you'll just take in what I'm saying, this takes work and dedication. If you're not willing to do that, keep your day job. Don't frustrate yourself and your family trying to do something you don't want to do anyway. You got to want this worse than you've ever wanted anything. Because in 6 months to a year from now, you'll be looking back saying, like I'm doing. I've been doing this for 2 years. Thank God I didn't quit January of 2014 like I was really thinking about doing, because I'd be making $400 and something a week after taxes, living on a fixed income. Well, you figure $10 an hour at 40 hours a week, you know, that's only $400. I'm thinking about a little overtime after taxes. I'd probably bring home about $450. So thank God I didn't quit. Thank God I believed in myself enough. Which it really wasn't believing in myself. It was just me being stubborn and hard-headed, knowing I seen so many people that was making it work. And I knew it works. I just have to. I have to work.
So it's the belief system that needs to change.
Right. Exactly. And you have to believe in yourself that you can make this work no matter what. And don't let that next door neighbor or mother-in-law tell you what a dumbass you are because you're working some scam online bullshit thing. Because they can't do it doesn't mean you can't. Don't listen to that crap. My son, 30 years old, would walk down the hallway of his nasty ass trailer, working his job as a server at a restaurant, making $60 a night, would come down the hall. Hey, Dad, how's that scam thing working? Now guess who he's calling for money all the time? Hey, Dad, can I borrow $500? Because they know I've got it. So it was the scam thing 2 years ago. Now it's, Dad, can I borrow some of your money? Don't listen to that negative bullshit on the people that don't know what the hell they're talking about because they haven't done it. That'd be like me talking about how to fix a car as a mechanic. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I'm not going to run to the mechanic shop and say, oh, you guys are a bunch of idiots doing this. Don't let mother-in-law or friend or next door neighbor deter you from your goals. I'm telling you as a police officer, my word means a lot. Loyalty and integrity means everything to me. Do not let those people that can't do it anyway tell you you can't do it. You get off your ass and go to work and you prove to them they're wrong.
Hey, you said it. I couldn't say it better than myself. Exactly. When I first started, I was telling my sister, about this opportunity. And it's kind of like, don't do it. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money.
Right.
But, I've always had it, this feeling within myself, that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I had a t-shirt business. I've done other little side things that never really took off, but it was always in me, and it's always will be in me. That's why I'm not fit for a 9-to-5. I was in a 9-to-5 for 15 years, sitting behind a desk, and
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
tell you, that life is boring as hell. Like, there's nothing fun sitting behind a desk.
Oh, I agree.
You know,
And you know what a lot of
started
people don't understand? Here's a statistic that most people don't know. In the 50s and 60s, over 80% of all businesses was entrepreneurs. 80%.
I do agree with that statement.
Today, less than 10% are. So,
Wow.
I mean, we look at entrepreneurship and say, can I make this work? Well, yeah, I mean, it works as long as you do, like I've said many times. But look at back in the 50s and 60s and even the early 70s, a lot of people were entrepreneurs. This is no different. All this is instead of knocking on a door and hopefully if your shoes don't wear out, you can talk to 100 people a day by knocking doors. I can do one video that takes me 30 minutes to do, and I can get it in front of thousands of people within an hour. That's the difference.
Yep, it's just a different platform that you're using.
Absolutely.
Same concept, different platform.
Absolutely.
You know, exactly. So since you came over, since you struggled a lot, how has life been since you overcame those struggles? There's something about the positive things that you're able to do, since you've been successful online.
You know, the best thing I'm able to do and what I love the most, and actually I'm going after this now almost as a full time because my business is pretty much on automation. I've got over 4,000 videos out there. I've got stuff on, I mean, I don't have to be in front of my computer every day. And one thing I love the most, and this sounds corny and I know it does, is, well, I made a promise to God. And I told God, please, and this is back in January of 2014, and I prayed, dear Lord, please give me the strength, the courage, the ability, the knowledge to make this work, to be successful. And if you do that, I swear to you, God, I will bless other people's lives. I will pay it forward. With that being said, what I love the most is being a motivational speaker. There's something about being up on stage and thousands of people listening to my voice, knowing what I'm saying is affecting them in a positive way. It's affecting them to where they're going to get off their ass and they're going to go home and they're going to make their business work. So now I'm looking at this as a full-time venture where I'm going to be going from city to city to city, talking in front of whoever. I'm getting with event planners, like with Amway and Herbalife and different companies. Now I can't mention Empower Network, obviously, but that's what I want to do full time. I want to pay it forward like I promised God I would. So I'm keeping my promise to God. And so what has this done mostly for me? It's allowed me to be in a position to bless other people's lives, to pay it forward, to let them know if some dumb ass ex-police officer, because you don't got to be smart to be a cop, you just got to know the law. I can do it. That means anybody out there can do this. I don't give a shit if you're 18 or 65, you can do it. But there's 1,001 excuses in front of you, and you can use any one of them. And whatever one you want to use is fine with me. But is it fine with you and your family? So not throw the excuses away. There's plenty of them to go through. But there's only one good excuse why you push forward, because you believe in yourself. And as long as you believe in you and you can make it work, you will make it work. But that's the biggest thing that's blessed me, is because of my success and because of what I went through. I was attacked by 2 male perpetrators and a very large pit bull. Ripped my arm up. I mean, I told you my injuries. So because of that, I didn't. I'm sorry?
That story is crazy.
Well, but because of that story, God knew what he was doing. I didn't understand it at the time. Like, I was like, boo-hoo, why me? But he knew what he was doing. He had a plan for me. And I'm not a preacher. I'm not getting all gospel on anybody, but I'm just saying he knew what he was doing, because he put me in a situation and a position to where now, because of what happened to me, I can tell that story. It touches people's hearts. And then what I've accomplished after that really touches them in the fact that they think the same thing I do. If that idiot can do it, I can do it. Remember that. If I can do it, anybody can do this, because I didn't know a freaking thing about computers. If you'd have told me 2 years ago that I could get on a hangout like this and talk to somebody and see them, I'd be like, you're full of shit. There ain't no way. I got to call them on the phone, but I can't see them. But that's where my technical experience went to. I didn't have any. I knew how to check this Outlook Express email, and that was it. So just remember, you're the only one that can make a change in your life. You're it, with the help of God, but you're the only one that can do it, and you have to be willing to do it, like I was. So now I'm in a position where where people want to hear what I have to say. I'm getting booked with people with 4,000 and 5,000 people in the audience, and I get to stand up on stage with my little Garth Brooks mic that comes around here, and I get to talk to them and tell them what I'm telling you now. So, and it just does something to me every time. It's so emotional. When I come off stage, I'm almost in tears because I look out and I see people crying and I see people like, like this. So it's just, to answer your question, that was a long answer, but yeah, being a motivational speaker is the best thing that ever came out of my struggles.
That's really cool, that you found this next phase in your life. So many people get to a certain position or a job and they think like this is it for the rest of their lives. It's cool to see you that went from, being attacked by 2 perpetrators and a dog, going through hell, being in a trailer, getting up, getting online, not knowing anything, and just working it and not giving up, to be able to put you in a position where, you're at your house doing nothing and you're still getting, pretty much paid a lot of money, every month. And now that you have this, automated, you're also able to go to your, your next phase of what I call evolution, or the state of consciousness, which is the next phase of your life, to motivate more people on a huger scale than what you're doing right now. So I really think that's amazing. And,
and what's funny is it's a blessing from God, literally. I'm on Facebook, and this is a few months back, and this guy, and I'm not going to name his name, but he just messaged me and said, look, I've seen your fan page because of somebody that's in your organization. I've heard you speak on stage through a video, and I would like to manage you.
Whoa. He's
a manager for motivational speakers. He manages people making $150,000 a year on stage. Then right the next day, almost to the time, another guy messaged me and says, I want to brand you online. I want you to hire me to brand you. So now I've got a manager and somebody that's branding me, and we're working all that now. I'm fixing to go to a photo shoot in the next couple of days where they're going to do full bodies and stuff like that, and they're going to make them look really cool. But I wasn't looking. I wasn't typing. And Dave from South Africa. Do you know him? Dave Reinica. Dave Reinica. Well, since when I met him, my income went up like ×2 because we started sharing ideas, and his income went up by 3 times because he met me and we started working together. But he's the one that gave me the idea of being a motivational speaker. He said, listening to you talk, you really need, and he said, you sound just like Jim Rowan. You really need to be a motivational speaker. And that's the first time I thought about that. And and then this manager reaches out to me, and this brand manager reaches out to me. So it's like it was meant to be. So if you hear about Pat Patterson coming to your city, buy a ticket and come see me, please.
Most definitely. I can vouch for it. I've seen him on stage personally with these 2 eyes right here. I've seen him talk. I mean, me and Pat, we masterminded in Orlando a little bit. I would say
a lot.
2 weeks ago. So it was an amazing time. So Pat, I just want to say thank you very much for, taking time out of your day, coming here and, sharing your thoughts and inspirations. Absolutely. And I just have to tell you that I had like about 20 breakthroughs right now listening to you speak, during this interview. So,
I want you to know this, Jonathan. I learned as much from you by masterminding outside that resort as you learned from me. everybody I talk to, I'll take something away and bring it home and implement it. So don't think you just learned from me. My man, I learned just as much from you. So I thank you.
Wow. That's
Absolutely.
wow. That's getting goosebumps. Thank you for that, man. I greatly appreciate that. Well, you guys, we have come to the end of this. And I want to leave you guys with something here, right here. So do not forget that you are conscious creators. Whatever you think, speak, text, and write comes into your reality. So pay attention to what you think and say. All right, you guys.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good evening.